Today's my last day. Today is my last day. Yes. Why? Because I was laid off. Yep. I was laid off. Let me give you a backstory. I joined UPS in 2021 as a package car driver. In 2024, I got called to go to the truck driving division of UPS. And the reason I wanted to do that was for this exact situation. Being laid off. Becoming a truck driver actually gives me a few different levels of security. Number one, I now have my CDL, so I can drive trucks and I can go to any other company that I wanted. Number two, it gives me another level of seniority at the company. So today's my last day. I'm going to be laid off. Luckily, we are a union here. So the union has some protection, some things in the contract that they signed with UPS that protects my job. So the way this layoff is going to go is today's my last day. Layoffs are decided based off of company seniority, and I am right at the line for the layoffs. So let's say if they say we're laying off 5 people, I'm number 5. I'm right there at the line. And this is the second time I've gone through this. I'm sorry, third time I've gone through this, by the way. So I have to wait a week. And then after a week, I am able to come back and take someone else's position that has lower seniority than me in a different category. So we'll see how that works out. If there's not anyone that I could, it's called bumping. So bump them out of their position based off of my seniority in full time. If there's no one available to bump, then I am able to go back to delivering packages. So I'm losing my job. I'm being laid off, but I'm not losing my job. So I shouldn't say I'm losing my job. I'm being laid off from this position. Then I have to wait and see how everything pans out, whether I'm going to be driving semi trucks or if I'm going to go back to package car delivery. But here's the difficult part of the situation. This is what's going to cause a long delay, in my opinion, or a possible long delay. So the reason I was able to join this division of the company is because at the warehouse that I work, they added more jobs. So they were adding more functions to this warehouse. So because they were adding more functions to this warehouse, they needed more workers. So that's how I was able to get the position that I have now. That new function was supposed to last 2 years. It lasted 3 months. UPS decided to go a different route. So they canceled that position. So that happened in January. Then in February, we learned that they are eliminating even more functions out of this warehouse. So because they are eliminating more functions out of this warehouse, now half of the drivers out of this warehouse now have to go work at different warehouses. So they are still in the process of dividing out all the drivers at this warehouse and putting them into separate warehouses. They still are doing that. They're still figuring that part out. Then last week, we hear rumors that they're going to be also laying off drivers from warehouses. So not only are they breaking up drivers into different warehouses and dividing them up because this warehouse's function is closing, now we have layoffs. So they have a lot going on. So there may be a long time before they figure out this whole bumping procedure and because of seniority and where people fall and all of those things. So I still will have a job. That's the blessing part of it. Will it be in this function, in the same capacity or classification? That's to be determined. But the good thing is I still will have a job. And that's thanks to the union. So the union definitely did their part in the contract and in the wording. So everyone will still have a job. So I appreciate that. But today's my last day and we will see how this all plays out. I may not be able to work for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe a couple months, because the company has a lot going on and they're not organized at all. So if I'm not able to work for a month, that will not surprise me at all. I will not be surprised. So we'll see what happens. We definitely will see what happens. But layoffs are happening everywhere at a bunch of companies. So just be prepared and have a plan and have a strategy.